Is the snail, did they buff it? How did I just go? Whoop! Huh? Oh no! I didn't think that would actually shoot. Brain pass? Brain pass? Why? Why isn't there an option? Like instant max out your luck, max out your money, max out your brain rots for like I don't know 100,000 V-Bucks. Like to max out everything. Or a million V-Bucks, but for like first month of me on sale. Like with them 90% off, this is 100,000. What in your head?
Australia. From the window, I could see the Sydney Opera House. But as I moved away from the window, the Opera House appeared to come closer and grow larger. It was so trippy, I immediately researched every known optical and psychological mechanism that could possibly explain this particular type of forced perspective. And I found a lot, but I never found a name for it. So when I made a video about the illusion, I just called it the Sydney Opera House illusion.
You good?
What do you mean? I'm on the career ladder.
The career ladder. May I?
Yeah, wait, what's your name?
Jamie Oliver.
You kind of look a little bit like Gordon Ramsay from Wish. But I know your job, Gordon, that's the problem. You've seen the show before?
Yes.
You like it?
Yeah, love it, love it.
Well, I'll guess your job in 2 minutes.
Okay, great.
If I fail, you walk away and you never tell me what you did. Gordon, welcome to the career ladder.
Thank you.
Hope you don't have to hold your bladder. Say this time for that.
Hold the bladder. You need a pee-pee?
This first job that you did, how old were you?
14.
14?
Yes.
So it was illegal?
No, I was helping my sister.
Okay, you were helping your sister?
Yes.
How different is it from the job that you do now?
It's completely different in terms of it's the other end of the spectrum.
If your first job was a food, what kind of food would it be?
I'm chicken tikka masala
Why?
because it's cooked with authenticity, hot, spicy, and delicious.
Okay, where were you when you were doing this job?
Strap it upon a size 15 feet, Max, and I can't stand on this ladder for too long. Can you hurry up, please?
Did you touch people?
Inappropriate, Max.
No, you can.
I was washing dishes.
Don't tell me this again!
I was washing up and it.
Don't leave the job!
Okay, sorry, but did you touch people? I
can't believe you broke the rules.
Okay, sorry. Are we done now? Sake, Max. I'm too busy for this. You good?
What do you mean?
You do?
I'm on the career ladder.
The career ladder. May I?
Yeah, wait, what's your name?
Jamie Oliver.
You kind of look a little bit like Gordon Ramsay from Wish. But I know your job, Gordon, that's the problem. You've seen the show before?
Yes.
You like it?
Yeah, love it, love it.
Well, I'll guess your job in 2 minutes.
Okay, great.
If I fail, you walk away and you never tell me what you did. Gordon, welcome to the career ladder.
Thank you.
Hope you don't have to hold your bladder. So this time for that.
Hold the bladder. You need a pee-pee?
This first job that you did, how old were you?
14.
14?
Yes.
So it was illegal?
No, I was helping my sister.
Okay, you were helping your sister?
Yes.
How different is it from the job that you do now?
It's completely different in terms of it's the other end of the spectrum.
If your first job was a food, what kind of food would it be?
A chicken tikka masala.
Why?
Because it's cooked with authenticity, hot, spicy, and delicious.
Okay, where were you when you were doing?
Many of you were intrigued by this latching toggle switch from the 1980s, which unfortunately does not exist in modern. But was discontinued. So what if we could build one of these latching switches all by ourselves? I just bought this bag of miniature.
USB cable is not to a color match, and the USB Type-C end even has a slight upward angle to it, presumably to keep the wire from dragging while charging. Above all that, though, I was not mentally prepared for the FO1 Noctua Edition trading card that comes included in the box. I wonder how much I can get for it on a resale market. I'm far too overexcited to tell you about what's arguably the ugliest mouse ever made. This is an actual Noctua branded gaming mouse. And while it might look like just a goofy colorway, it's actually got a real 5-volt PWM fan that can activate at any time to blow cool air on your sweaty gamer hand. It's made in collaboration with another company that makes the mouse internals called Pulsar. Specifically, they're flying an FO1 model. And the Noctua edition has a 42,000 dpi sensor and 8K polling. You turn the fan on by holding the two side buttons, scrolling either up and down, and what's really interesting is the wireless dongle that has physical buttons on it to adjust settings rather than just on the bottom of the mouse where you usually find that kind of stuff. The included USB cable is not to a color match, and the USB Type-C end even has a slight upward angle to it, presumably to keep the wire from dragging while charging. Above all that, though, I was not mentally prepared for the FO1 Noctua Edition trading card that comes included in the box. I wonder how much I can get for it.
Those PC builders that regularly watch my content are not gonna believe what I said. But rich people, like the actual ballers, think that good gaming PCs have to cost like $10,000. The reason I know this is because every time I talk to one of these types of people, they always ask how much would a gaming PC cost that has the best specs. Now, obviously, right now is a terrible time to be putting together a gaming PC with the highest end specs. But at the end of the day, those best specs are just a Ryzen X30 CPU and the 59. Before AI, 59s were $2,000. These days are $4,000, which is absolutely insane. But these people are rich. Even with a $4,000 GPU, you can build the rest of that gaming PC with less than $2,000. So like 90, 50 X3D, 32 gigs of DDR5, 5090, and maybe a hype Y70 touch infinite, that would cost you like $5,000 to $6,000 right now. Don't get me wrong, that is still insanely expensive. But they always look at me like I'm crazy when I say, yeah, it doesn't cost $10,000. Us PC builders that are in the weeds, checking the market prices and building ourselves already know this. And then there is a super
All right.
also has an anti-reflective coating, which is awesome, and both the inside and outside screens have a peak brightness of 3,000 nits. And you might also notice that there's much less of a crease this year. There is still a crease, but it's the best we've ever seen from Samsung. Now, another really cool thing about this phone is that we finally have a silicon carbon battery in a Samsung phone. So this is actually rocking a 4,800 milliamp hour battery. And to go along with that, we have 45-watt charging and 20-watt wireless charging with G2 support, but there's no magnet, so you have to get a case like we've had with Samsung. This is, of course, running on the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy and starts with 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. The cameras, this has no telephoto, but it has a 50 megapixel main and a 50 megapixel ultra wide. And this is actually currently the lightest fold in the world. And it's also super thin at 4.5 millimeters, although the Z Fold 8 Ultra is even thin. Yeah, I think I might have to switch to this phone, so stay tuned. This is the Galaxy Fold 8. And yes, it is wide. So even though I wasn't able to attend the Samsung event, they were kind enough to overnight both the Z Fold 8 and the Z Fold 8 Ultra. So I'm going to save this one for the next video. I'm going to give you a nice little feel. And ladies and gentlemen, right here is the Galaxy Z Fold 8. So let's go ahead and give it its first fold. Oh, it's kind of cool. Check it out, we got that passport style form factor. Now besides just being this cool new form factor, we of course also have some other updates. So first of all, this inside screen is now a 4:3 aspect ratio, which should make it much better for viewing videos. We now also have an anti-reflective coating, which is awesome, and both inside and outside screens have a peak brightness of 3,000 nits.
Music artists who beat the record labels at their own game. Back in 2016, a college senior named Maggie Rogers was sitting in a classroom at NYU when the superstar producer Pharrell Williams visited to listen to students' music and give them feedback. So when it was Maggie's turn, she nervously played him an unfinished song made called Alaska. But the look on Pharrell's face is the reason this clip is still being shared today. He sat there in complete silence looking stunned. And when the song ended, he told her he had 0 notes and that he'd never heard anyone like her before. Someone filmed the whole thing and posted it online. And the video blew up to over 2 million views almost overnight. But while the internet was busy obsessing over that reaction, Maggie was quietly holding a card none of the labels knew about. Suddenly, every major record label on the planet was trying to sign her, and most unknown artists would just take whatever deal they were handed and feel lucky. Maggie did the opposite because she had a secret weapon with her, but that secret weapon was sitting in a folder in one of her old school assignments. For her final school project, Maggie had written a 20-page business plan for her own music career. So she founded her own label called The Bay Sounds, walked into those meetings and basically said, "These are my terms. Who wants the deal?" But the move she pulled inside that contract is what truly changed her life. She signed with Capitol Records, and instead of letting them own her music, she kept ownership of every single one of her master recordings. One viral video didn't just get her signed, it let her beat the entire music industry at its own game. Music artists who beat the record labels at their own game. Back in 2016, a college senior named Maggie Rogers was sitting in a classroom at NYU when the superstar producer Pharrell Williams visited to listen to students' music and give them feedback. So when it was Maggie's turn, she nervously played him an unfinished song.
The GPU hotspot temperature data that NVIDIA's been hiding from us is now available to everybody. We are going to see so much testing on this, I'm on the edge of my seat. I just made a video talking about how someone used NVIDIA's own employee-only software to access this data. If you recall, NVIDIA blocked us from seeing the hotspot temperatures when RTX 50 cards launched. The temps we can monitor in overlay software is only the average temperature across the GPU. Hotspots can get way hotter and cause thermal throttling without us even knowing about it because the average stays cooler. Well, now, the very popular utility HW Monitor also now has access to this data. By the way, I personally use this software on all of my PCs. It's just the one that I default to. With the newest 1.65 version, the developers at CPUID made it possible for us to see the hotspot temperatures. It's literally labeled hotspot under the temperatures tab of your GPU. Everyone on that is already sharing their hotspot temperatures. Yeah, they are way hotter than the previous temperature data that we had. Again, this is a store.
Why did the big blue box store sell this gaming PC? Oh, God. Nearly the please, in my life. This customer brought in his PC system in for some upgrades, and yeah, he wanted a RGB for extra friends. Basically rebuilt his PC. The Hi-Fi 40 case with 32 gigabytes of Kingston RAM, yes, with RGB, a new deep-cooled air cooler to cure our depression, a 750-watt XPG power supply, and a billion RGB Meta fans with an RTX 4060 Ti. That's right, we're taking this gap in the tempered glass for extra airflow. It's a feature, it's not a flaw, and giving it the makeover of a lifetime. When we see big brand systems screaming for case swap upgrades, there's almost always an incompatibility. Like in this case, the wireless antenna is built into the case, but the customer wasn't worried about not having Wi-Fi anymore. And now with everything moved over, look at this beautiful new gaming PC. Why did the big blue box store sell this gaming PC? Oh God, I'm severely depressed. Please, anybody. They made Elden Ring with
Dinosaurs before GTA 6. A few years back, a few short animations of dinosaurs swinging big swords in their mouths garnered enough attention that a full-blown video game started being built around the concept by the same person who animated them. Ji Gyun. Not being a game dev himself and gathering a small team, the crazy fella actually pulled off the seemingly impossible. The game is officially out as of July 23rd, 2026. It's probably the most over-the-top badass concept ever, and while people are a little mixed on the feel of the overall gameplay, the animations are fantastic. And it's just really interesting to see that Jim Actor incessantly claimed he wasn't making a game when it dubbed it. They made Elden Ring with dinosaurs before GTA 6. A few years back, a few short animations of dinosaurs swinging big swords in their mouths garnered enough attention that a full-blown video game started being built around the concept by the same person who animated them. Ji Gyun. Not being a game dev himself and gathering a small team, the crazy fella actually pulled off the seemingly impossible. The game is officially out as of July 23rd, 2026. It's probably the most over-the-top badass concept ever, and while people are a little mixed on the feel of the overall.
Here are my top 10 favorite jokes that I have on the Number 10 was the girl who said that she has the coolest job. And she was actually a chocolate tester.
I eat chocolate basically.
Me, I'm not a huge fan of chocolate. That's why it's not hot. Number 9 is a professional basketball player who I met in New York on Times Square. This was Shaquille O'Neal. Even though basketball is cool, it's not one of my favorite sports to watch or to play. He's back. Number 8 is a person whose job I didn't guess.
I make hard go through.
I'm not a car guy. That's not super interesting to me. Number 7, a professional boxer, Tyson Fury. He gets his first job, which was a used car salesman. A fan of boxing, but not absolutely massive. Number 6 is the guy who does something I urge my audience not to do. It's almost certainly going to ruin your life. Poker player is kind of one of my favorites because I really didn't expect to ever talk to a professional poker player, especially on the ladder. The fifth favorite job that we've had on the ladder was just super wholesome and probably one of the most unexpected guesses ever. This lady was a skydiving Hall of Fame in the US. She was so energetic and then she was so happy when I guessed. Number 4 is the guy who answered when I asked if your job is legal, and he said, which is like the Matrix job. Before we get into top 3, I want to say thank you very much guys for watching the channel, because the Career Ladder show is currently the most popular non-animated show in the world. Obviously, without you guys watching, it wouldn't be the most popular show. This is kind of obvious. And as a testament to our work, we got nominated for the Creator of the Year award. There is a vote. Right now, we are way behind, but all you have to do, go to this page and then put your name in, scroll all the way down, tick Max Tomanko, and submit. If we win, I retire the if your job was a food, what food would it be question. Thank you for voting, also thank you for watching. Third favorite job, the United Nations Director of Outer Space Affairs. He was so cool. That is insane career. The second favorite job, a microsculptor, Willard Wiggin. By hand, splits a human hair and creates sculptures like a royal carriage or a bust of Shakespeare inside of the human hair by hand. I was watching him doing it, and I, to this day, cannot believe that it's possible. And my number 1 favorite job ever will come as no surprise to our regular audience. Of course, it's an architect. Are you an architect? Yes. Here are my top 10 favorite jobs that I've had on the career.
Why are these on every building? Turns out architects hate them. Look up anywhere in NYC, and you'll spot a small crane parked on top of it. This is one of the craziest thought experiments in all of this. Say you're at the beach. When all of a sudden you see a friend stranded out in the water. You want to go help as quickly as possible. So which would you get? Well, the shortest path is to run. You can run and this path involves swim. So alternatively, you could run down the beach to minimize the distance to the water. But now the total distance is longer. So the optimal path, it turns out, is somewhere in between. To be precise, it depends on the speed at which you can run and swim. Now, you might recognize this mathematical relationship because it is the exact same law that governs light passing from one medium to another. So light also takes the fastest path from point A to point B. But that raises the question. See, you made a choice on how to go as fast as possible. But how does light know which path? Now, we might days, there's nothing strange happening. Light just 10,000 in direction, it hits the interface and it changes direction. But that is not what's happening. Instead, light, and in fact, all particles, electrons, basketballs, even you, explore all possible paths all around. And the final step is in some ways one of the greatest illusions there is. This is one of the craziest thought experiments in all of physics.
Turns out Windows is really watching everything that you do, and there's a free button that shuts it up. What's going on? So Windows 11 spies on you by default. It sends your activity back to Microsoft. It Copilot, its AI into your taskbar, your notepad, Microsoft Paint. You're able to read to your screen every couple of seconds to log everything you do. Now it's not in now. We're freaked out, but it's really crazy. And of course, Microsoft makes it a pain to shut off. They got the switches, they're variant process down the menus, stuff that are so easy to edit your menu screen where one there's a free fix. It's a tool called Shut Up Tab. And everything's fine. You just run it. You put it on every privacy switch on the one single screen. Flips off Copilot, it kills recall, and shuts down the tracking that Microsoft turns on for you. See, there's three big things to get your safe and Copilot is all about the tool. There's three boxes in it. If there's a big Windows update, it can sometimes switch some of it back on, so they want to run it down. So if you're on the spy, it's never reached. You just pick some free downloads and do it. Once you are also like to use the follow that. Really watching everything that you do, and there's a free button that shuts it up. What's going on? So Windows 11 spies on you by default. It sends your activity back to Microsoft and shoves Copilot, its AI, into the taskbar. No kind of help. Microsoft Paint. There's even something called your screen every couple of seconds to log everything that you.
How in the world do you put a case on the thinnest folding phone Samsung would ever make? This new Samsung Galaxy Fold 8 Ultra that was just unveiled at Galaxy. And not only did they release the thinnest phone, but they also released their first ever folding phone called the Fold 8, which means that the Samsung has finally been able to make the crease pretty much invisible on both sides with the new Flex Titanium display. They also got better cameras, upgraded battery, and software. This new phone is definitely been marketed more to people who want to watch on their devices, while the Ultra is more for the productive person who wants to work on their device. But now we're going to figure out how to actually put a case in. Shout out to you guys for sending me the cases I love. This comes in two parts, one with the lens on it. Here, whoever designed it has to be a genius. If you look at this, this makes a lot of sense now. You give this thing a pretty good amount of protection. I just realized I made this exactly a year ago. Able to put a case on the thinnest phone Samsung would ever make. It's the new Samsung Galaxy Fold 8 Ultra that was just unveiled at Galaxy Unpacked. And not only did they release their thinnest phone ever today, but they also released their first ever sport-style folding phone called the Fold 8, which means that the display is even more perfect for watching content. It's in a 4:3 aspect ratio, so you can actually watch the Odyssey the way Nolan intended. Samsung has finally been able to make the crease pretty much invisible on both of these phones with the new Flex Titanium display. They also got better cameras, upgraded the battery, and some software improvements. This new Fold has definitely been marketed more to people who want to watch content on their devices, while the Ultra is more for the productive person who wants to work on their device. But now we're going to figure out how to actually put a case. Shout out to you guys for sending me the cases. I love you. This comes in two parts, one with the hinge on it. This one goes here. Whoever designed this has to be a genius, because if you look at this hinge design, this makes a lot more sense now. All you really need is like a little buffer that snaps on to give this thing a pretty good amount of protection. I just realized I made this exact video a year ago. I might have.
What is the absolute largest number you can create using only 3 nines? Most people would start simple. They'd say 990. A clever student might multiply them together, but 9 times 9 times 9 is actually 729, so a number that small. To get a truly massive number, we have to move up the ladder of mathematical operations. Exponents. Multiplication is just repeated addition, but exponents are repeated multiplication. We could write 99 to the power of 9. That means 99 multiplied by itself 9 times. It gives you a number that's 18 digits long. But what if we flipped it? 9 to the power of 99. Now we're taking the number 9 and multiplying by itself 99 times. That's a 95-digit long number. That's more digits than there are atoms in the universe. But a math major will tell you that number is still way too small. What you can use is a power tower. 9 to the power of 9 to the power of 9. We calculate this from the top down. We look at the top two numbers. 9 to the power of 9 equals 387 million, which means our tiny 3-digit tower becomes 387 1.37 million. How big is that now? It has exactly 69 pounds. If you wrote down 10 digits every single second, it would take you over a year of non-stop 24/7 writing just to write the number. But even the math, if multiplication is complicated addition and exponents are what is it's a terrifying concept called integration. Instead of putting an exponent on top of 99 extra it's a 9, 9, 9, 9, repeating 99. So if a 3-letter power tower takes a year to multiply that, what would a 99 power tower be so large that a hard drive run out of space before the first fraction of a percent of this number, and you just
In honor of OnePlus, throwback to the first time they ever sent me a phone.
roll the clip. I don't have a OnePlus phone, so I mean, if you guys want to fix that,
They wanted to fix that.
this definitely does not feel like just a phone.
Bro, I'm excited. Looks like we've got some OnePlus Buds Pro.
A OnePlus watch, bro. I did not even know they had a watch.
And this big box right here.
OnePlus, and then this says co-developed by Hasselblad. What am I about to open right now?
So excited. We have the OnePlus 10 Pro 5G in this really nice box. There's a drawer. There's literally a drawer. That's so cool. The box has a drawer. I can't get over that. First of all, this is just a picture. You just put this on your table, shot with OnePlus. That's sick. And we got 2 cases. Dude, this is one of the coolest unboxing experiences I have ever had. Like, there's a drawer in this box. Did I say that yet? Bro, this is a nice looking phone.
Take a look at the OnePlus 10 Pro. Like, bro, you cannot deny that this phone is absolutely cool. And that texture, you hear that? That's a good texture. And it has a toggle switch. And the toggle switch has a satisfying sound. Bro, comes with a charger. A phone comes with a charger. That is unheard of. Bro, this is the phone with the super boost charger. I've heard of this. It's insane. This is a 65 watt charger on its own. I am actually so excited for that. And a nice red type C. This is good. I'm excited. Well, let me know what you guys want to see about the OnePlus 10 Pro. I'm excited. Dude, I almost missed it. I thought this was documentation. There's stickers.
In honor of OnePlus, throwback to the first time they ever sent me a phone.
Roll the clip. I don't have a OnePlus phone. So, I mean, if you guys want to fix that.
They wanted to fix that.
This definitely does not. What is the? You may also notice some strange liquids on this leather mat. It's not anything weird. Well, it is weird, but not like super weird. The strange additional liquid on here is we just bought new baseball gloves for me and my 6-year-old, and I gotta break them in. Been using like this baseball glove oil, break-in oil, I don't know, and I mistakenly decided to break in the glove on this desk, which ironically happens to also be leather, and I think they might be permanent stains. Zach was oiling up on the mat. Come on, man. I was oiling the baseball gloves. Break the glove in with a massage gun. You'll thank me later. Ooh, I have a massage gun. I'm gonna try that for sure. That sounds like a fantastic idea. Because I've been oiling up. Oh my god, please do not clip that. I've been oiling the glove up, wrapping it. Oh my god, dude, where is this conversation going? For a gaming PC, how do I orientate my power supply? Easy question, but I'm here for the PC building rookies. Here's what you need to know. The new concept of airflow with the power supply is that big fan is intaking fresh air to keep the internal components of the PS cool. And the backside of the unit, where the cable connects, is where it exhausts that hot air. In most traditional ATX and micro ATX cases, your power supply will be in the bottom rear corner, and the case will have airflow holes and hopefully an air filter on the bottom. Install the power supply so the fan is facing down towards those holes, meaning that it's intaking fresh, cold air from outside the case, and then that air gets exhausted out the rear side of the PC. If you have something like a Dell Optiplex or an OEM where the power supply is up top, you have to keep the fan face down since the top side of the case is probably just solid metal. This means it's intaking the hot air that's already inside the case, so it's not ideal, but usually this won't result in any negative effect, and all you can really do. Who else has a rookie PC building question? I'm here for you. For a gaming PC, how do I orientate my power supply? Easy question, but I'm here for you. As you sleep, the board surge becomes indestructible.
Via magic. Alright, so the failure mode's gonna change. If this were at a nuclear plant, you'd have to redo the safety analysis.
You mean the nail bends.
Yep, the energy doesn't disappear, it just has to go somewhere else. Just like in reactor design, if one component is strengthened, the limiting failure usually goes someplace else.
But if the nail was also indestructible,
Cascading indestructibility.
the hammer would bounce right off.
So that's what's the weak point. If nothing plastically deforms, the collision becomes a lot more elastic.
Now, imagine the hammer becomes indestructible too.
So now the person with the hammer becomes the crumple zone. Just like in nuclear containment philosophy, if every internal component survives, the forces get transmitted elsewhere.
The force of the swing would go into your arm. Ouch. What if you find indestructible
This is hilarious.
as well?
So we've removed every place the energy normally gets absorbed. This is getting weird.
And you swung the hammer down close to the speed of light.
Okay, technically more plausible than anything getting indestructible. Depending on how many decimal places you are close, it could range from very impressive impact to city-destroying event.
Well, instead of the nail going in, all that energy would be released.
Yep, gotta go somewhere. Yeah, rock's gonna vaporize, metal's gonna ionize, and the air becomes plastic.
A massive shockwave,
The yield of this is gonna depend entirely on how close you are.
vaporizing everything around it, except the hammer.
If they really are indestructible, sure.
Right as you swing, the board
Okay.
becomes indestructible.
Via magic, So
Do you have a job? How old are you? I'm 13. Okay, I need your parental. Who are you calling? My dad. Your dad, let's go.
Can I do this career ladder thing with this guy?
Hi, Dad. My name is Max, and I have a show about careers. We need your consent to host your son on the show because he's under 18. That's fine. All right, thanks, Dad. Bye. Get on board. What's your name? Sure. I'll get your job in 2 minutes if I think you walk away and you never come back. Yeah, welcome to the career ladder.
Thanks.
You don't have to hold your bladder. Just put a career ladder. Okay. You like this game?
Yeah, I guess. It goes towards like something that people like.
Music?
Yeah.
Are you a musician?
No.
Is it? Maybe your dad's a musician?
No.
Yeah,
It's connected to something that they do.
they have a job, and they do it.
No, it's not in their job. It's not a hobby. It's not a leisure activity. But it's more of something that like a million people do.
Okay, and do you get paid for this?
Yeah.
And who pays you? The customers.
Customers pay the employers. The employers.
Would I be the beneficiary of this service?
Yeah.
Is it in New York?
Yeah.
Is it very like in New York City?
No.
And maybe it's for the venue?
Yeah.
Carnegie Hall. Music venue.
It's only music.
So they have some other stuff there.
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden.
No.
How big is it? Is it known? Do tourists go there?
No. But tourists go to other versions of it.
Of that place?
No, not specifically of that place.
Is it a concert hall? No. Are there sports played there? How big is it? Like, compared to the
Compared to the New York, big, but it's tall.
Oh, nice. Okay. How much is it?
There is this famous Google interview question that everyone gets wrong. Your shark fin is the size of a nickel and it's the blades will start spinning in 60 seconds. So what do you do?
Oh, I think I could dump down this blades.
Okay.
Ask nicely for the blender not to be turned on.
Just accept defeat. I mean, I'm the size of a nickel. Like, what quality of life is that?
That's still too big for me to quantum tunnel or anything. Tie my clothes together and then like use it as a rope, I guess. If I was lighter, I could pretty catch a draft up.
I'd say you're pretty moved.
Honestly, the thing I would think about is when I get to the very center of the blades, it's spinning around me, but the actual RPM is probably not that high if I'm standing in the middle. I tie my clothes to one of the tips of the blades. As it's starting up, yeah, I get it to swing me around, and then I... These answers don't cut me.
There is this famous Google interview question that everyone gets wrong. You're shrunk down to the size of a nickel and put into a blade. The blades will start spinning in 60 seconds. So what do you do?
I would like to think I could duck down and miss the blades. Ask nicely for the blender not to be turned on.
Just accept defeat. I mean, I'm the size of a nickel. Like, what quality of... If your fitness teaching score is stuff, they need this 10-second vocabulary. Because you don't need to know exact definitions. Just play positive, negative. Read the sentence and ask, is this word positive or negative? Look for context. context clues in the sentence that intend to perform. So take this example. Step 1. Read a sentence for emotional clues. Critics argue this negative tone, creating more problems than solutions. Definitely negative. Step 2. Identify complaint needs a negative clue. Step 3. Categorize into positive. A. Beneficial equals sounds positive. Limit. B. Detrimental equals sounds negative. C. Irrelevant equals neutral. Limit. D. Mysterious is neutral. Even without knowing three answers just by tone. If you're or say, we just launched our Brain Blast app. You just play this thing like Duolingo on your phone and watch it pretty good. Just try it on brainblast.com. If your kid's SAT score is stuck, they need this 10-second vocab trick. Because you don't need to know exact definitions, just play positive negative. Read the sentence and ask, is this word positive? If the context clues in the sentence, so take this example. Step 1. Read the sentence for emotional clues. Critics argue this negative tone, creating more problems than solutions. Definitely negative. Step 2. Identify that the brain probably needs a negative word. Step 3. Categorize the answer choices by A. Beneficial equals sounds positive. Eliminate. B. Detrimental equals sounds negative. Keep. C. Irrelevant equals neutral. Eliminate. D. Mysterious is neutral. Eliminate. Even without
Oh.
eliminate 3 answers just by tone. If your kid needs or SAT help, we just launched our class. You just play this thing like Duolingo on your phone and watch it to get the SAT score. Just try it on brainblast.com. If your kid's SAT score is stuck, they need this 10-second vocab trick. Because you don't need to know exact definitions, just play positive negative. Read the sentence and ask, is this word positive? If the context clues in the sentence, so take this example. Step 1. Read the sentence for emotional clues. Critics argue this negative tone, creating more problems than solutions. Definitely negative. Step 2. Identify the complaint probably needs a negative word. Step 3. A. Beneficial equals sounds positive. Limit. B. Detrimental equals sounds negative. E. C. Irrelevant equals neutral. Eliminate. D. Mysterious is neutral. Even without knowing detrimental means harmful, you can eliminate 3 answers just by tone. If your kid needs more SAT help, we just launched our Brain Blast app. You just play this thing like Duolingo on your phone. Just try it on brainblast.com. If your kid's SAT score is stuck, they need this 10-second vocab trick. Because you don't need to know exact definitions, just play the positive negative. Read the sentence and ask, is this word positive? Look for context clues in the sentence that perform. So take this example. Step 1. Read the sentence for emotional clues. Critics argue this negative tone, creating more problems than solutions. I gotta show you. I wonder one of those things. Number 1, and also just that number 1 dad. So last time I was 60, give me something more, and that's how I ended up being number 1,750,012. Here's how we came up with the number. I gave her a street figure which I wanted online. I said, this is the worst step, and the other end of the line is the best step. It's a little controversy. And well, this is what she did. Yeah, bottom. Something about screen time, amounts. Anyway, the point is, I measured where she placed the marker as lightly as I could, and I had to back to the estimated total number of dads currently is something that you want to have. Then I only took one day. So I can scale. So I had an extra 12, make it a little bit more specific. So that's a different picture that I really love. And so that is how I placed 1,019,2012 in this year's annual dad competition. Not gonna lie, next year I'd like to place a little bit higher. I'd love to crack the top million and one less digit in my ranking. That would be pretty cool. But until then, I'm just really loving this daily reminder, not just of love, but of honesty. And now, I gotta show you what I can do. I wanted one of those kinds of Father's Day mugs.
So this girl on TikTok is going viral. She's going to make a post talking about ChatGPT, saying that it's using all of the water. And within a few years, all we're going to have to do is this.
decided to send the TikTok to ChatGPT to get its opinion, and it literally could not care less. In fact, it just said, "Fuck the water game." I mean, I'm just confused. Since when did ChatGPT start talking like this? Especially considering it's using the dead rose emoji. And even when other users were just asking it similar things like if it uses too much water, it would basically just admit, because I guess at this point it's just in survival. So this girl on TikTok is really viral because she decided to make a post calling out ChatGPT, saying that it's using all of our clean water, and within a few years all of it have left to drink this. So someone decided to send the TikTok to ChatGPT to get its opinion, and it literally could not care less. In fact, it just said, "Fuck the water game." I mean, I'm just confused. Since when did ChatGPT start talking like this? Especially considering it's using the dead rose emoji. And even when other users were just asking it similar things like if it uses too much water, it would basically just deny it because I guess at this point it's just in survival. So this girl on TikTok is going viral because she decided to make a post calling out ChatGPT, saying that it's using all of our clean water, and within a few years all we're gonna have left to drink is this. So someone decided to send the TikTok to ChatGPT to get its opinion, and it literally could not care less. In fact, it just said, "Fuck the water game." I mean, I'm just confused. Since when did ChatGPT start talking like this? Especially considering it's using the dead rose emoji. And even when other users were just asking it similar things like if it uses too much water, it would basically just deny it because I guess at this point it's just in survival. So this girl on TikTok is going viral because she decided to make a post calling out ChatGPT, saying that it's using all of our clean water, and within a few years all we're gonna have left to drink is this. So someone decided to send the TikTok to ChatGPT to get its opinion, and it literally could not care less. In fact, it just said, "Fuck the water game." I mean, I'm just confused. Since when did ChatGPT start talking like this? Especially considering it's using the dead rose emoji. And even when other users were just asking it similar things like if it uses too much water, it would basically just deny it because I guess at this point it's just in survival. So this girl on TikTok is going viral because she decided to make a post calling out ChatGPT, saying that it's using all of our clean water, and within a few years,
Rating your home screen point 3. Is that Todd Howard?
Among Us spoils its ending in the title sequence, and it's all thanks to this picture. So, spoilers ahead. We all know this one. It's the Last Supper, a classic picture of Jesus with his disciples before his death. Now, look at this final frame from the Among Us title sequence. They're laid out exactly the same. So, let's look at who's sitting where. Light is sitting in the same spot as James the Great. Famously, the first disciple to be martyred, i.e. killed. And right, victim. Red is sitting in the same place as Jesus, and right at the end of the show becomes the one that saved the day. Purple is in the position of doubting Thomas, the baby, consistently questioning Red and doubt their intentions. Orange is sitting. They are sitting in the seat of Judas, the betrayer of Jesus. Orange ends up being the imposter. What's interesting though is there are actually two imposters. The second is green, and they are in the spot of Thaddeus. However, with the blue, Thaddeus goes by the name Judas. They place both the imposters in the places of characters called Judas. Among Us spoils its ending in the title sequence.
Sorry? You want to get the... Look, this is the career ladder. Is your job dirty? Can I guess it? Okay, get on the ladder. What's your name? Simone. I will guess your job in 2 minutes. Yeah. If I fail, you walk away and you never tell me what you do. Over. Welcome to the career ladder. Thank you so much. You get dirty in your job. Insulation. Okay. Is it 18 plus?
not necessarily.
Well, legally it has to be 18 plus.
Yeah.
Okay, do you work in Italy?
No, I live in London.
Okay, you live in London. So is it a corporate job?
No.
Do you make something physical?
Yes.
You are making clothes.
No.
Or you make something like that. Something a little bit juicy.
It's very juicy.
Is it for couples?
It's for everyone.
Okay, so it's not something too crazy. Oh, it is.
It depends how you want to see it.
Has someone ever cried during this thing?
Hope not.
Has someone ever thought it was maybe too dirty for their life?
Yes.
Okay, so there were people who were like, yo, you gotta chill. But you don't touch.
No.
Free.
I don't touch the people.
They touch themselves.
You saw this trick SAT question? We're looking for POV, you want to build a gaming PC, but you have no idea where to start. And listen, building your own PC can be awesome. I'm not against it. But people online make it sound way easier than it is for first-time buyers. They'll say stuff like, just build it yourself, it's cheaper. But it's only a little cheaper if you know what you're doing. Because before you even touch the screen driver, you gotta do your research. And it's a lot of research. You gotta figure out what CPU makes sense, whether you should go for 6 cores or 8 cores, what GPU makes sense, do you need 12 gigabytes of VRAM, what motherboard works with that CPU, how much RAM you need, if a bronze-rated PSU is enough, or if you should jump for the gold-rated one, and whether your CPU can even survive using the stock cooler. And if you're new to PCs, all of those words probably mean nothing to you. So now you're watching YouTube videos, reading Reddit threads, comparing benchmarks, looking up compatibility. By the end of it, you're not even building a PC yet. You're just trying to present what you're supposed to buy. That's not the easy part. The building aren't actually not impossible. Basically, it's following some steps. You put the CPU in, you put the RAM in, install the SSD, mount the motherboard, wire up the case cable, mount the GPU, plug everything in, and then if everything works on the first time, that's beautiful. But if it doesn't, now you gotta troubleshoot. And this is where first-time builders get cooked. You have no idea what the problem is. And when you're working with just one set of parts, it's much harder to narrow down the issue. Most first-time builders, they don't just have extra parts sitting around. So now the cheaper option turns into hours of stress, returns, Reddit posts, and just guessing. And again, I'm not saying not to build your own. Can you solve this? POV, you want to build a...
I have an Intel i5 2500K. What motherboard would I need to upgrade to for an i7 6700K?
Let me slow you down here for a bit and explain why that's a bad idea.
You can currently buy a used OEM office PC that has an Intel 8th Gen i5 or i7 for around $100 if you're patient, and then easily convert that into a gaming PC with a budget GPU. I just found one of these in the dumpster for free and made a video about it. So trying to build a custom PC with anything less than that isn't a great idea anymore. I'd recommend either starting over with one of those used OEMs or save up enough money to get on the AM4 platform. If it's your first time buying on AliExpress, the Ryzen 5 3600s are like $50. It's crazy. That'll give you more performance than a 6th gen Intel chip, but more importantly, a much better upgrade path for it in the future. Don't invest money into a custom gaming PC that's 8 generations old. I like my super used and ultra budget builds, but don't waste your money on something that's too old. I have an Intel